recently. Like there's this amazing thing that I always think about because it blows my mind. When Kobe Bryant passed away, his wife, Vanessa, was giving a speech, and she said that he was always playing through injuries, and everyone knew that, but no one really knew the reason. And she asked him in a private conversation, I believe, one night, like, why do you do it? And he said, it's because someone has saved up to watch me play.
Yeah.
And they might only ever be able to afford one time to watch me play.
Sure.
And I don't want to let them down.
Yeah.
And that's how he played through injury. It wasn't that he wanted the championship more or that he wanted the ring more. It was that I want to be there for my fans who are showing up for me.
Interesting.
I want to hear your thoughts on that. Yeah.
I mean, you have my book Conspiracy right there, which I saw when I came in. And that's my worst selling book. It is not that it hasn't sold well.
It's not that it's bad.
Yeah, it's just
your worst
all my
seller,
books, it's not sold well. But it's the one that without question, if people ask me what book I'm most proud of, it's that one. And that's because I grew the most writing it. It was the most outside my wheelhouse. It was the most challenging. It was the one I had the most doubts as to whether I could pull off. And it's the one that sort of most authentically interesting to me while I was doing it. You love all the projects that you do, but that one was just different. You know, it was just different in so many ways. If you can find a way, when the Stoics are saying if you only enter things where winning is up to you, you always win. What they're saying is that if it's intrinsically interesting and compelling and challenging to you, you're doing it because you like the puzzle of it, then you've already won, and then everything else is extra. And, you know, for basketball, if you like playing basketball, and there's a reason it's called playing, right? If you like the thing, then all the other stuff is extra. But if for you, winning is what gets you up out of bed. Well, then what happens if you're drafted by a team that's not any good? Or what if you are crippled with injuries or, you know, any number of things, right? Winning is not up to you. Enjoying the day-to-dayness of it, the lacing up of the sneakers, the squeaking of the shoes on the floor, the bouncing of the ball, like the warm-ups, you know, if you love all of that, then everything else is extra. And you got to figure out how to love like the purity of the thing itself and find something in it that is fulfilling and wonderful just to you before it's ever out. That's the purest place. And I've had to do work on that. I've said this before, but like probably with my first book, I was probably like 90% interested in how it did and 10% like proud of what I'd done. And I'd like to think I've gotten that flipped. I mean, if you don't care about it at all, like you're not going to keep doing them. And you have partners and, you know, you have employees, you have all these things that are dependent on it doing well. But ideally, most of the success is off the table just from having done it. Yeah. Because what if it comes out on the day of a terrorist attack or a natural disaster or a printer shortage? Like there's so many things that could happen that could get between you and the thing that you wanted. But if you enjoyed doing it, then you've picked all the fruit that's up to you to pick.
Yeah, absolutely. You reminded me of a statement by George Bernard Shaw where he said, we don't stop playing because we get old because we stop playing.
Yeah.
And it's that idea of just, you're so right. Like I feel out of touch with myself when I'm not reading and learning and reflecting.
Yeah.
Like that's when I feel misaligned. If my life gets too far away from finding new ideas, experimenting with them, discovering them, trying to understand them and wrap my head around them, if I'm not filling my brain up with not just ideas theoretically, but even physically trying something new, experimenting with something I've never done before, I find that's when I'm misaligned with who I am.
Well, yeah, look, success in your chosen field cannot be not having time to do what you like to do in said field, right? Like if I don't have time to read, if I don't have time to write, if I'm not on my routine, on my schedule, what kind of success is that? I've mortgaged myself for a bunch of things that I don't want to do. You know, those things might be lucrative, those things might be fun, those things might be rewarding in their own ways, but the main thing is like what got you into this, right? And if you don't have the time to do that, what kind of success is that, right? It can be very easy to just say yes to all the things that are coming in, and then you wake up and you go, it has been weeks since I did X, Y, or Z, like the things that light me up. Like, what is the things that light you up? And success should facilitate you being able to do as much of those things as you want to do. Are there always going to be administrative things and obligations and business? Of course, but if you don't have time to do the thing that only you can do, like what kind of life is that?